Hello everyone, welcome to the electronics repair live stream. I have a new camera here, which means I now have another thing for you in the stream, which we can see in the bottom right corner, which is the view of the microscope area. I think it's going to be more helpful than the old overall view I had here, which I was kind of using as my face cam, but not very good face cam. So hopefully it's better that way, and I can show you stuff here, and you can see my face, which is a good or a bad thing depending on your point of view. So today I want to start with something that happened after last week's live stream. Let me show you. So last week's live stream, we were trying to fix this ESC, and this ESC had one of the motors, this motor one, that was spinning slower. And we tried replacing everything. We started by replacing the MCU, then the driver, then we saw a broken diode, we replaced that, we replaced a bunch of capacitors, we replaced everything, it didn't help. And at the end of the stream, I decided to replace all the FETs, and the issue was still there. And after the stream ended, I was still super curious, really wanted to figure it out. So I started testing things, and it turned out that this guy, I resoldered everything quite fast, tried to put all of them on the board, and it was not ideal. And this one was not connected, so I just reflowed it, connected it properly, and it worked. So basically, what this means is that the issue was, so before I reflowed it, when it was still bugged, the motor was still spinning. So it means that with 5 of the 6 FETs, we were still getting a spinning motor, but slower. So what it meant is that by rushing my repair, I managed to reproduce the exact same issue I had before I fixed it, which is one dead MOSFET. So when I reflowed it, started working again. So what I learned is sometimes MOSFET can fail not shorted, but they can fail completely closed, like open circuit, basically. So no electricity passes. They just don't work, basically. They behave the same way as if they weren't plugged in. And that means that with only 5 FETs, motors can still spin, and they can still spin decently fast. It was like about 20% slower than the other ones. So yeah, that's a good way to learn what the issue is. Oh, and what kind of gave me that idea, after I had at the end of the live stream, I thought, yeah, might as well pull out the thermal cam and see if something weird is happening. And what I saw is, let me grab tweezers. So this is the FET that was not soldered, and this is the other FET that's on the same motor pad, the pad 2. And this one was getting hot, probably because it was kind of tanking the reverse current that this one's supposed to take in its reverse diode, in its body diode. And so because this one was getting hotter than the other one, I thought, hey, there must be something wrong with this. So I started probing. That when I realized it wasn't connected. So yeah, super interesting. So this one's repaired. It spins correctly, and it's going in the box. So yeah. So hi everyone who's there early. I think we're probably going to be getting a fairly small stream today because I changed the day. I'm not there tomorrow, so I had to shift the date. But yeah, hi Sporny, as always, Coda, Christoph, who's my brother-in-law, and Donza. Hey, welcome to the stream. So today, what are we gonna fix today? So we have a bit of everything, so there's no priority. Getting an AIO fixed would be nice. What do we have? That's Droneo's box. There's one ESC and a bunch of flight controllers. Axis flying. Yeah, not sure. We'll see if we can get an AIO from maybe Donza's box. Let's see. There's a bunch of things in here, but I want an AIO that seems semi-recent. What's this? Boot. Let me see if I can clue in. So does it say somewhere? Let's go to the scope, see if we can spot the make and model. Also, I try to improve the microscope by tweaking the settings, so hopefully it should be more readable, less contrasty. Let me turn off my light. Turn up my light and zoom out. So let's try to focus it for you guys. What can we see on this board? I don't see a board name. Oh, there we go. Crazy Bee F4FR. That's pretty old shit. Neo is asking for an analog AO. I'll see if I can find one. We have a question from Xgoulash. Let me know how I'm supposed to call you, please. Xgoulash Shanax. Maybe just Shanax? But quick question. Why did I go with 12 or 2.5 RC in power in my Kayu Mini instead of 11 or 3? And I'm still happy with them. I have a bunch on different sizes, and 12 or 2.5 and 11 or 3 is the same size. It's just the same stator volume, so it's pretty much the thing you get by going with the 12 or 2.5 RC in power is you get very, very pretty motors. They have nice colors. They're very nice to look at. I can actually, let me show you. I can show and tell. So I have a bunch. Let me grab a bunch of things. So I think the motors you're talking about were from my build. So my original build photos on my Discord are this quad, but it's now been converted to being an X8. So this one has 5 of the very pretty pink RC in power motors, and has 3 of the HDR RC because I built it from what I had in the drawer. So yeah, those are all 11, 12 or 2.5, and they have very similar kV, 1100, 1150, something like that. But I also have some Spark Hobbies on this guy. Those are 1103, 850, 8500. This guy has the very, very, that's my HD01, has the very, very soft and easily damaged and always bending Happy Model EX motors. They're really, really light, but they're also pretty much bending all the time. Oh yeah, this one is the 6S, has big motors. So, and I have one with a T-motor. Oh, I had one with a T-motor motors, but I sold it. So, yeah, they all pretty much work. You pick whatever you feel like. I prefer lower kV, but some people prefer higher. Really depends on the flight side too. So yeah, they all work. They all pretty much fly the same anyway once it's tuned. So pretty much it. All right, let's continue our dive in the box. As always, if you have any question that's related to electronics, repairs, or FPV in general, whatever you want, just ask here in the chat, and I'll try to reply if I can. Back to, so I'm not convinced by this AIO, even though it does have a VTX, so maybe we should consider it. We'll put it on the side unless we find something we prefer. This one looks like it's exactly the same. No, not necessarily. Yeah, crazy. Let's go to the microscope. I see something. Another Crazy Bee or FR. That's probably, actually both are probably Free Sky, so not ELRS. So that's probably what the FR says. So yeah, it's probably not very interesting. Let's see, what's this? This is just an ESC, same ESC. What's this old thing? Beta FPV 12 amp AIO. There's a VTX next to it, so it doesn't have onboard VTX. What do we have here? A bunch of receivers. That's a VTX, I think. No, that might be a 16 by 16 flight controller, which we don't really care for. That's a big stack thing. Okay, so I think we don't have an AIO directly. What do we have in the box? A bunch of board. Nice and cooked. Okay. So probably not something I'm going to be looking at today then. That's a buzzer. So what to read instead? Maybe we'll try to see what that nice 60 amp ESC has. It's one of those Rush ones, which a friend gave me recently. So let's see if I can add a full-on blade stack, Rush blade stack. Let's investigate those two. It's going to be interesting. See if we can sort it out. Okay, so let's start with, do you guys have a preference? First to say whether we start with the ESC or FC. First person to say, well, I'll start with that. I have a Anubis says F7 plus F55 Pro something stash. I'm not sure I see the question here. Let me know more, Anubis, if that's a question. Oh, you're maybe asking the difference between two stacks? I mean, all stacks are pretty much the same. They all burn the same way when you smash them, or if you build them wrong, and they all fly the same. So whichever is cheapest, or whichever tickles your fancy. Whichever, yeah, I wouldn't spend too much on a stack. There's nothing indestructible. It just doesn't exist, especially if you're putting 04 Pro in it. So the 04 Pro is going to die fairly quick. That's fine. DJI will replace it, but yeah, I wouldn't think about it too much. The only premium thing I would ever put in my quads is Volterra ESC, because I know it's a small project made in Europe with the highest quality components, and yes, it's expensive, but like it's actually a passion project that's absolutely top spec. Other than that, I would never buy premium. Premium is just marketing, basically. It doesn't make the boards better, in my opinion. Coda has a question about Express LRS. Since 4.0 update, you are being confused because you're still a beginner. Go ahead to ask your question about 4.0, no problem. Okay, so you guys didn't choose between FC and ESC, so I'm going to start with the flight controller. Let's go. So we're going to do the usual checks. On your Beta FPV Pavo 20 Pro, the flight controller, it says ELRS, and there's no separate receiver module because it's built in the AIO. AIO means all-in-one. All-in-one isn't necessarily all-in-one, so it really depends. Usually they say, but if it says an ELRS AIO, and I think the one you're talking about, I have one around. That's going to be this one, right? I think. And it runs CRSF. So basically, ELRS receivers, if they are standalone, they'll always be communicating to the MCU on an UART. UART you can think of as a USB plug. So it's always going to be communicating UART. However, when they put it on the boards, let's see if I can reduce the volume and not saturate as much. When I put it on the board, They can choose whether they want to put it as a standalone module on the board and make it communicate through a UART with the main chip, and that's going to be a UART receiver, even on board, or they can decide to save space, to save room on the board, to have the code for ELRS run on the same chip as Betaflight and communicate just with the RF front end through SPI. And that's what we call the SPI RX. And this one is a serial, so UART, serial or UART is the same thing. That's a UART one. So you will need to select the right port, but it should be in the documentation. And it's just a UART receiver on top. And the protocol that it uses to communicate over serial, over the UART, is CRSF, which is the protocol created for Crossfire. It doesn't mean you're using Crossfire, it just means that's the way the ELRS speaks with the controller. There you go, hopefully it's clear enough. Okay. Hi, Dylan. Let's go, I have a board here. Let's go for our rush. So it looks absolutely super clean. Oh yeah, of course it had the cover, so it stays clean. So let's go for the usual. Let's first put it on USB and see if it communicates. And I'm gonna use my fluency meter thing so it doesn't fry my PC if something goes wrong. So I'm gonna power this up. And I'm going to grab another wire. And where's my other wire? I have it close by. Should have. There we go. Up. And we're gonna connect this here. And you did. Oh yeah, that's USB-C. I need the USB-A. USB-A, which I have around here somewhere. I think that's the one. That's a USB micro B, sorry, not A. Micro B, that's this guy. All right, so let's see if we get any activity. LEDs blinking, that's what we're looking for. Let's go. Okay, that's looking good. Activity LED. Let's go to the screen share and I can show you whether we see it here. Okay, we can see it. Let's connect. All right, so that's sounds like we might have a dead back, maybe that's why it ended up on the pile. So that's working. So that's pretty good. All right, so let's see if we can make it work through normal power. Coda, you're asking which firmware target should I flash it to update to ELRS 4? You don't flash the board to update ELRS. You flash it through. There's a few different ways of flashing it, and I'm not going to show you in this stream, but I can point you at the right documentation. But if you Google ELRS flashing, they have good documentation online. But basically, you flash the ELRS chip, which is a separate computer. So basically, if I get, where did I put my thing? I can show you a bit more. But basically, let's go to a microscope actually. If I show you the board, I'll try to give you a better understanding. So we have, so this is the MCU, that's the main computer that's running Betaflight, right? And here there's an ESP32, and you recognize it with this logo, but it also says ESP on it. And that's kind of the same thing. It's also a processor, and it's there to run ELRS. And there are two independent systems. And the thing you want to flash for 4.0 is this guy, not this guy. And the way you flash it is either through something called Betaflight pass-through, or you can flash it over Wi-Fi. So you just wait for a minute and it's going to start blinking fast, and you can connect to it with your PC over Wi-Fi and flash it that way. But you'll find information online. And yes, I think, yes, Pony says, what do you want to add, to update? There's no big benefit to updating, but there's also no big, as long as you don't have an SPI receiver, then you, by all means, update and have the latest version. That's not a problem. But yeah, that's, there's no reason not to. I can't update because I have a bunch of SPRX, and until Betaflight supports 4.0, which is, remember, when you have an SPI receiver, the code runs on the Betaflight chip, so it needs special builds of Betaflight that run ELRS. So that's why you can't update to 4.0 until ELRS has 4.0 on board. All right, let's go back to our chip. So next, we're gonna need to give it power, and I'm gonna take my small lead, and I'm gonna find of course it's not, oh, it's written down. Oh, I think the pinout is written on the shield actually. So let's see. So it's gram bat on that side. So the first one is correct. I just need to move my bat wire a bit here. Yep, we're gonna be repinning things as always. Not yet. Tweezers. I think we're good. So now we should be gone bad. So if I insert it, so you might notice that this plug is smaller than this, but you can actually insert it on the side. There's no problem. So now I should be able to give it power. So let me give it power. So I'm going to go for 4S voltage, so 16 volts. And we'll see if it lights up. And it does.
Hello.
So what's wrong with this board? Hello. I'm not sure anything's wrong with this board. So one thing we can do is something that has happened before is boards get hot and kind of disconnect. So it could be something like that happening. So what I'm going to do is first make sure the voltage reading is fine. And you can see it is at the top of the screen. So that's not what's dead. Let's do a bit of thermal cam and see if there's something going crazy on the board. Means I get to have to play with my toys. And who doesn't like a bit of thermal cam action? Yeah, so that's normal temps. I'm reading 50 on the bottom left. That's the 3.3 volt regulator. And the chip is 43. That's perfectly normal. What do we have? A bit of heat here, which must be coming from underneath. No? No, it doesn't. What's that component? That's the back here, 5 volt back. So is it? Seems big. No, it looks too big for the 5 volt back. Maybe it is because it's next to the inductor. But yeah, it's not getting, so nothing's getting particularly hot. So yeah, one of those perfectly working boards maybe. Let's see if the gyro is drifting maybe. I don't think it is though. Doesn't seem to be drifting or misbehaving in any way. As always, half of the things I receive actually work. Might be some transient issue. Let's see if it has all its motor outputs. So we'll make it spin some motors, and we'll see. Why do I'm here, it's not clicking. Oh, I'm getting some clicking from the PSU. I must be contacting something. Oh yeah, I think I'm just having some probes contacting, so shorting the PSU on another level. But yeah, this seems to be working perfectly fine. So let's make it spin motors. So we're gonna need to pull out the test platform. Let's put that back in the drawer. We don't need it for now. Oh yeah. Thankfully, I still have sound, but I think yeah, it might have been Yukoda. But guys on Discord, let me know if you can't hear sound. All right, let's put this on a test platform. And thankfully, it already has the motor soldered for this time. So I need to find a... So that contraption doesn't work well. Let's see if I can find a working ribbon cable. So this one is definitely not the right pinning here. Let's see if I have one that happens to be the right pinning, and otherwise I will repin as always. Still haven't figured out a good way to not do it, so maybe this one? This one seems to have the right pinning on this side. Let's see if it matches. I won't. We have ground, VBAT. Oh, it has large connectors on both ends. That's not useful to me. This one, maybe. This one, maybe. So many one. This is a wide. No, it's not a wide boy. Can we get away with a small one, actually? No, because that's typical. I hate Rush. They always do things like that. They always have small things that annoy me. So because the ground and bat are on this side and the motors are on the other side, I can't get away with a smaller plug. If the motors were in the middle, I could. But nope, I guess we're repinning this one. So this one, I need to completely repin. And is this side correct? That's going to be minus. Oh, this one is correct, so that's good. That's nice. So I just need to repin this side. Let's do it. So if you have questions, now's the time, because I can reply while I do this tedious thing that is repinning. I think I'm going to have to change that blade. That blade broke recently. I need something more sharper. Sharper. So hopefully we'll end up this stream with a full complete stack, Rush stack, which it's funny because Rush is extremely popular here in France. There's a bunch of pilots that are sponsored, and it seems like I never ever hear about it anywhere on the US website, like on Bardwell's Discord and anywhere else. So it's like the brand decided that France was its target audience, and weird, a bit weird. It's funny because they kind of, well, I guess people have heard about the Rush VTX. I think that's fairly popular everywhere, the Rush tank. But otherwise, It's one of those brands that does really cool things and also makes like takes stupid decisions. For example, the F4 flight controller, it's pretty nice for a few reasons, but the main one is just like this one, it's one-sided. So you can actually get it super close, like you can fit it in super narrow stacks. It will still fit and not contact with the board under it. But the F4 one doesn't have a butterfly target for beyond 4.3. So you just can't flash it because they're doing something weird that Betaflight said not to do. So they made custom targets for it. I think it's about sharing an SPI line between gyro and something else, and black box probably. So Betaflight doesn't want to support it, and Rushed hasn't made a new target for the new version, so you shit out of luck. I guess you could kind of build it yourself, compile it yourself, but it does require knowledge, advanced knowledge. So yeah, kind of classic Rush basically. So I think the 4 motors are these 4. Yeah, Bad Cactus, that sounds about what I had, the experience I had. You know about the VTX, and the rest is just unknown. Where here in France, it's like, it feels like 50% of the Bando pilots are sponsored or fly Rush, and people consider it like a premium supplier, which I've been annoyed by it too much to consider it anything but a bunch of dickheads. Like, for example, I don't know if it's the case here. That is the case here. So here, look at this. This is a DJI plug. And let me grab a DJI, official DJI cable so you can see the colors. So here's the one. It's actually labeled DHD, the DJHD. So it's made for DJI. And look at how, let's go to the microscope. Look at how the red wire doesn't line up with 10 volts. Look at how it's completely flipped, because some engineer looked at the pinout and didn't think that the plug wasn't plugging that way, I expect. But it's just incredibly dumb. Like, people will come here, plug it in, send 10 volts to their S-bus wire, and then possibly fry their board, their ESC, VTX, sorry. It's just dumb. Classic Rush. So yeah, I'm angry with the Rush. Newbie Drone has also very, very infuriating design decision in some of the products. So yeah. I don't think sending 10 volts, I'm guessing it's protected. You're probably not frying your VTX, your DJI VTX. Works neither. I wouldn't be surprised if you were frying it. And they do provide you with a cable, but if you use the one that's provided with your VTX, well, you'll shit out of luck. So yeah, fun times. Let me not get this wrong. Yes, ground is on the outside. So now, after I talked about Rush, they will hear that I talked about them in my stream, and they will want to sponsor me. Maybe that would be so funny. Also, yeah, I had a good surprise this week to learn that I have now reached the status where I can be a YouTube partner. So if you guys want to send me money, you can by sending super chats in the chat. Don't feel free to completely ignore this. I'm not doing this for the money. But if you wanted to test the feature, I mean, it's always up to you, and I will never ask for it. And I will answer all questions regardless. So, but yeah, it's a nice thing to be kind of recognized for having done enough content. So it's fun. let's see now if we get the correct motor beeps. Let's see. We're gonna give it some 6-4S. And 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, we get the good sounds. Now we see if it spins. I still need the other cable. Because micro B. USB micro B. Let's connect. Motors. We have no telemetry error. I mean, we expected that because we heard the beeps. And let's spin some motors. Yep. It's all spinning. So yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what this board had, but it doesn't seem to have it anymore. So fixed, I guess. Yeah. Let's put its hat back on. And so yeah, in the box, and let's see about the ESC now. We might actually reuse that for the testing the ESC now we have a connection, possibly. Mini Madness, you ask, what multimeter do I use? So currently, I won't be able to show, I might be able to show it to you. I'm using this O1 microscope here, multimeter. It's as you can see, it's a lab multimeter. And it's the XDM 1041. And I don't recommend you get it. The reason I got it is that it has a serial port, and you can see the number. You can see me doing things in the overlay, and I can actually display it on stream. So it's very nice for me to be able to show you what I'm doing. However, my previous one is better, and it's also cheaper. That was this guy. I've had it for like 10 years, but they still make them. That's the Unity. This model probably doesn't exist anymore. There's going to be something similar. And it's really good. It's like simple, big display. It's not too expensive. It does react quite quick. And if you wanted to really do buy for life a multimeter, it's a bit more expensive, but not crazy. The one I would get right now is the EEV Blog one. He made a partnership with, can't remember the brand, it's a known brand, but I'm not very well versed in multimeters. But yeah, I did some research, and it looked really, really good. But that EEV Blog, he's a YouTuber who makes electronics content, and he's like extremely knowledgeable about a bunch of things. It's super funny as well. It has a very thick Australian accent. It's amazing. So yeah, he's Bremen. Bremen is the brand. So the Bremen EEV Blog one is what I would pick right now if I need to choose the multimeter and didn't have to have it for the stream. But yeah, as Mini Madness says, yeah, the Bremen. But yeah. And yeah, that's O1 isn't too expensive. It's like about 100 euros, but yeah, got it so I can have it on the stream. It's also nice to have it not clutter the desk as well. So it's not too bad for my situation, but for most people, I would get the Bremen if you can, and something like a Unity if you can't, if you want something cheaper. That would be my guess. Okay, ESC time. Let's see if this one works as well. I mean, someday we're going to do some electronics repairs, maybe. We'll see. But for now, I keep receiving gifts. Let's put that back. This there's this plug we might need. That might be the plug that goes from rush to rush. So we might use that. All right, so let's do our usual experimentation on an ESC. So that's going to be first the BP tests. So that's going to be multimeter time. So we're going to check for continuity. So beep mode, and you should see it in red when it beeps. And I'm going to test continuity between plus and minus, and no continuity. Then I'm going to test all motor pads with minus and all motor pads with plus, and that tells me if there's a shorted line, a shorted phase. Stop moving. Stop moving around. I can't remember which I did plus, I think. Let's do them again. No beeps. Can't hear beeps. Okay, so we have nothing shorted. So now, either it's perfectly working, it's working perfectly, or we have a slow motor, meaning one of the FETs is going to be dead, or we might have the ESC not light up at all when we power it. So next step is going to be to put some juice into it and see how it behaves in terms of amp draw. So I think that's a 32-bit, so that's going to be a BL32, so I'm expecting around a watt between 1 and 1.5 watt, 0.6 and 1.5 watts of draw. Soon I'll be able to show you that on screen, but for now you're going to have to trust me that I'm not lying when it comes to what I'm seeing on my power supply. So let's go. I'm going to put another current protection, 2 amps, so it triggers at 2 amps. And let's go. So I'm getting 2 watts. And it should go down to 1.9. So I think, and you can see the lights as well. It's lighting up like crazy. They do like to put lights everywhere, Rush. So looks like it's working in terms of powering up. Let's see if it can talk to the flight controller. So we have our flight controller that works. Let's see if this is the right pinning. I think it is. Yeah, here. No, so it's right pinning here. Oh, of course, classic Rush. The thing is not symmetrical, so you have to pick the right side. I mean, physically it won't change anything. If you put it the wrong way, it's still the right wire-to-wire connection. But if you put it the wrong way, the plus and the ground and VBAT, we're gonna have the wrong color. Where if you build it symmetrical, then it doesn't matter. Rush. Okay, and let's double check that this is the right connection, but I think that is, yeah. Yeah, oh, no, it's not. That's not the right cable. Ground bat, and this is ground on the side, and I have bat on the side. So, Bat Cactus, I don't think you should put Rush on the avoid list. Like, when it runs, it's just dumb. So yeah, I will not buy them. I mean, I still would maybe buy them because they're so flat and there are very few FCs that have no components on the bottom. So that's a good reason to buy them despite the issues. But yeah, you know what I mean. They're annoying. So now the question is, because I've seen this before, do I trust that the ground is on the side, or do I trust that my cable was a Rush cable? I'm gonna double check with the multimeter. I'm gonna check that indeed I have a beep between minus and the pins. Okay, yeah, we do. So the still screen is good. I've had times I've seen on one of the Argus, one of the Argus from Axis Flying has a CNC shield that has the pinning wrong on the CNC shield. If you remove the shield, then the pinning is right. Dumb. Okay, so I just need to repin those just the power and bat wires. And that will be good. All will be good in the world. So yeah, just catching up on some of the chat, Cactus. The F7 flight controller is no problem to update. It's just the F4. So I actually have the F7 in one of my quads that has a fairly thin deck. And it's nice because it lets you get a lot of space between your flight controller and your ESC. It's one of the very few stacks, at least the FC, where you can run it on a, I think I have a friend who has it on a 14mm stack height on his custom build. He just wanted to make it low profile for absolutely no other reason than flex, I guess. And it's really nice. It's really nice to kind of give yourself challenges, even if they don't serve any purpose. Up. Just one more. Maybe I'll... Now I know that I have a rush connector. Okay, we should be good. That's the FT updates to latest and everything. Yeah, no problem. The F7, sorry. Yeah, I have. I had no problem updating it. It has a target, so at least this one works. The F4 is the one I would avoid. Oh, I was wrong about the thing not being symmetrical. So I said mean things about them, but I didn't realize that this wasn't the orientation. This is the orientation. So I need to repin the whole bloody thing. Oh, well. Welcome to the Monday repinning stream, where we repin the pins and pin the pins and do it all over again 20 million times. So how are you guys going? How are you guys doing? Is life good? What can I tell you about electronics in the meantime? Yeah, so I have an AAO I was diagnosing on Thursday, and I concluded it had a dead back. And after I checked, because I checked somewhere, I checked right at the inductor, which is one of the big components that lets you identify backs. And so I thought, I'm not getting 5 volts, then the back is dead. Well, it turns out that after I was looking at some data sheets, as someone does when they get bored, and I realized that not on all backs do you have the output power, the output voltage right on the coil. And I think it might be because this AAO had a buck boost converter. Buck boost converters are converters that can take can tell to voltage and bring it up or down. This one was an AAO that can take 1 or 2S. So if you want to make 5 volt from 1S, then you need to boost the voltage because one cell is less than 5 volts. And when you want 5 volt from 2S, then you need to buck the voltage. We call that a buck converter. So we need to lower the voltage. And it turns out those don't have their output on the coil. So I went back and checked, and 5 volt was actually there, just not reaching the MCU. So that's going to be an interesting debug for next Thursday. However, I accidentally had it plugged. I have my multi-wire here with a bunch of outputs, and I plugged this into another quad to do something else completely different. Gave it 16 volts, so 4S, and I still had the AO plugged in here. So I send 4S into a 2S AO. And it still lights up on the USB, so hopefully nothing's damaged. There's a bunch of protections that might have kicked in. So yeah, that's going to be a fun investigation. Did I fry it? Can I save it if I did? Is it protected? What's the original issue? That means I don't have power. So yeah, it's going to be a fun experience. But yeah, I tend to kind of ruminate on things when I fix stuff and it doesn't go the way the right way. Just kind of keep thinking about it for a while, and sometimes at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. I'm gonna go and instead of going to bed, I'm gonna go and try to keep investigating. So yeah, it's an interesting thing that happened there. Mac Shaky FPV saying, I felt really accomplished yesterday. I found the right blank JST 6-pin connector for your 3i unit and my own connector with longer wires to wire up to an X8 build. Okay, you're gonna have to post pictures of that X8 build on my Discord if you don't mind. I want to see it. But yeah, the kits, I think I know what you mean. Those are super nice kits where you get a bunch of headless of connectors without wires and a bunch of wires, pre-crimped wires, and you can make your own. It's really nice. The issue they have is that they only come with long wires. So if you want a shorter connector, you have to steal it off an existing one, because I haven't found a kit with short wires. I wish I could get one, but yeah, they are only 15 centimeters, something like that. It's really nice. They make them in all sizes of JST as well. You can do it for camera wires, and it's really nice. Thanks for the kind word, Bad Cactus. I don't think it's something that most people experience, actually sending 4S into an AIO you left on your test bench wired to your test harness, but I appreciate the sentiment. Okay, I think we're nearing the conclusion of this repin experiment. If I can get this one to lock in. There we go. Okay. Backpack asking, you need get some plastic or TI screws for whoops, motor and HD frame length, or for the motors and the HD frame length, just a variety. Any suggestions within the EU? I've always got them on AliExpress. The plastic ones, I mean, ping me on Discord if you want the links. I can dig up the links I used last time. It's been a while, but it probably should still give somewhat relevant results. The plastic ones are basically the Beta FPV peak screws that I got, and I do the job. And the TI screws, I have a bunch. There's a bunch of links. They're not that expensive either. So yeah, okay. So now we are looking. We're going to be looking in the screen share. See if I get the motor communication. So as always, we're looking at this. We're looking at the red text, and when I power up the ESC, the red text should disappear after the song, which we can't hear because there's no motors. So let's see. Yeah, it's all disappeared. It did the beep boops. I guess we put motors on and we check if there's a slow motor. That might be the issue. That sounds fairly likely. Or a motor that doesn't spin. And then we're going to have to change some FETs. All right. Let's put this on the test squad. For people who haven't been there often, you'll realize that oftentimes repairs are just about soldering and desoldering stuff and repinning cables to test. That's what takes the most time, unfortunately. I wish it was all fun debugging and figuring things out, but the reality of it is you spend a lot of time with a soldering iron, a soldering iron, like I've heard said. Let's grab some tweezers. And yeah, we're gonna put a pigtail as well on this ESC, so I can. Actually, maybe I won't. I'll just use the alligator clips. Saves me a few seconds. Because if I need to open it up and start removing FETs, I'm gonna have to remove the pigtail anyway. There we go. Thank you, MacShaky. I'm looking forward to checking your X8. Is it just a fun X8 for your own enjoyment and stupid freestyle with something that should never be freestyled, or is it for making cool videos? I hope it's the first one, but it's likely to be the second. Not everyone is as dumb as me. I like those ESCs. I like ESCs that have the pads on top and not on the side, because the cancellation doesn't really help. You know, I know brands like to advertise they have castellated pads, and they probably need to advertise it because it costs extra to make castellated pads. But I find them harder to solder, and if the design is correct and well made with a bunch of stitching variants, it's actually not more durable to have the cancellation necessarily. So I think it's way easier to have clean solders, clean joints, and neat-looking motor wires when you have small pads that are inset instead of being on the edge. So I prefer this. So good job, Rush, on that front. And maybe have been too fast to criticize. I mean, they still have their DJI plug backwards. There you go. Let's see if we have spinny things. Let's try to not short anything. Alligator clips. Plus is on the side. Minus. And there's a big blob of solder. Right, let's go to this view. And let's connect. Motors powering up. Okay. So now we're going to spin the motors. We're going to look at whether all motors spin. Let me see if I can give you the view of the whole quad. So you can see all the LEDs from the race wire spin. I'm going to remove the overcurrent protection as to not trigger it. And let's go. Ah, okay, there's a motor that barely spins. So this one barely spins. So I'm guessing one of the FETs is dead. So we're gonna be investigating. Let's see again the RPM. So you can see it has stupid low RPM, motor 2. The other one looks fine. So let's see if we can get more info from the thermal cam. So what I'm gonna have to do is pop the shielding off the vehicle. Thanks, we have a proper repair now. That's awesome. So actually, you love building Falconrad's designs. I don't know the guy, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like. You have no use for it other than fun and to fly and sell it to buy some more to build. Yes, that's the right way to do it. I love it. Freestyle that motherfucker. Sporny asks, you finished designing your first frame yesterday. Now you're thinking about where to cut it, and you're in Europe. So there's a few options for you. In France, we have a bunch of people who can cut it for you. And it's not super expensive, but it's not going to be as cheap as Armaten. So go to Armaten Productions website, and you can have them cut your frame and send it for fairly cheap. And you can actually put it out on their website to sell to other people, and they will cut it, put the hardware together, and send them to them as well. But even for one-off, you can get it there. The other solution, obviously, is to get yourself a CNC, which obviously you should do, because CNC is fun. But yeah, the reasonable options are probably Armaten. But otherwise, it's possible that the French, I mean, you probably have people who can cut it in your country. But if you don't, maybe the ones we have here can do it for you. I'm not sure. But yeah, Armaten is probably your best bet. I know someone in the, Dr. Duct in JB's Discord, had them cut some General Pocket, which is an open source frame. It's a French open source frame too. But yeah, and he got them fairly quick as well. So here I'm gearing up to open that heatsink by using a screwdriver. There we go. Oh, that one's easy. So let's see if we can see anything happening with the heat of the FETs. So we're talking about this channel here. Where's the flight controller? Where did I put the flight controller? Where are you? Managed to lose it. How did I manage to lose the flight controller? Oh, it's here. It's attached to it. I haven't lost it. Mini Madness, you fry the flyway out the same way and put it on 20 volts on the one. Yeah. I mean, I would want to take a look at it if you're willing to send it to me. As I'll kind of, for people who don't know the way I repair stuff and the way it works, the deal is that people around me give me stuff that they wouldn't be able to do anything with. They would throw away. We don't really have access to easy repair services. So most of the electronics, they just stays in a drawer because people don't want to throw it away, but they won't ever do anything with it. So the deal is, if you're not going to do anything with it and you don't care, you don't mind, you give it to me. And then when I have time, when I feel like doing it, when I on stream or whatever, I'll take a look at it and see if I can repair it. And when I repair it, I put it in the box. That box lives in my FPV bag. and anyone who sees me in a session, who's given me stuff before, can go and pick whatever they want from the box for €5 a piece. The reason I charge €5 is so I can pay for the spare parts I need to buy, so BECs and MCUs and stuff like that. And I don't really want to deal with the hassle of sending stuff back. I don't think I have the skills to really repair as a service, and I don't want to deal with the stress of that. So that's the deal. Now, if you want to donate your AIO to my channel and can send it for not too expensive, then yeah, I'll absolutely have a look at it on stream. I love checking AIOs. They are very interesting. They are very tiny, very difficult to repair. So yeah, if you want to send it to me, hit me up send me a DM on Discord. I'll give you my address and you can come and rob my house or something. Or send me the package that works too. All right, so let's see if I can see something with the thermal cam. So Frederick Michel asks, how can you have a session with you? So in my Discord, there's a section called Session Toulouse, and that will direct you to our Toulouse Discord. And if you're ever in the neighborhood, ping us, and you can come fly with us. We mostly do bundles. Yeah, Mike Shaky FPV, most of the old electronics like that is about replacing caps. That's super common, I hear. I haven't really done it myself, but let's grab the thermal cam. And the reason I'm doing the thermal cam is because very similar to the problem I was telling you about this morning at the start of the stream, that might be able to tell me which FET is behaving differently. So we're looking for one of the 3 FETs on the phase, the other one on the other side, to be either hot or cold. If hot, it probably means the other one is dead. If cold, it means this one's dead. I need to plug the electricity back in. Now we connect. Turn on the motors. I'm super happy I got to the bottom of this issue the other time, because now I know how to approach it. Let's spin them motors. Nothing obvious here. Oh, but the motor is spinning fine. Huh. Oh, I think I know what the issue was. I think my ribbon cable was badly plugged, because now the motor is spinning smoothly and fine. So that might have been user error. Oh, now it's not spinning correctly. Okay, so it's kind of... And now we have a FET that's heating up. So the third FET. So there might be an issue with the FETs then, but it might not be that it's dead. It might be just badly connected or heated up. So I might just get away with a reflow. So maybe I'll just reflow the FET. So that's the third one. I'm super surprised it spun well that other time, but yeah, there's definitely... I think there was a desyncing ESC. And yeah, that kind of explains why. Let's try it again. Yeah, it sounds awful. And you see the wire heating up more than the other ones too. Let's try to not smoke the motor and the race wire. I'm guessing the motor is going to be quite hot. Yeah, it's 75 degrees inside the motor. So yeah, there's something wrong with the FETs. That's good. That's good. It means It means we have something to fix. Let's pull it out, turn it off, pull it out, remove everything, and then we'll look at the, we'll see if we have donors. Hopefully we have donors, and we'll look at changing the FETs on this line. So that's going to be the third FET from this way. Now, hopefully we have a donor for this. Let me desolder it quick. This can go. That should be an easy fix. That should be an easy fix if I have the donors. Remember, those Rush ESCs are the first one I've used to train soldering with the hot air. I had a very waterlogged one, which means I probably can take FETs from it, actually. Yeah, I just trained, I just basically took FETs off and put them back on as a way to learn how to use hot air. And yeah, hopefully if you want to learn how to repair electronics, FPV electronics, you just keep your dead stuff or have someone who has a dead board that can give you. Like the burnt ones, they're probably never gonna fly again anyway. And yeah, you just start taking stuff out and putting them back in. All right. Extra Spicy asks, what do I think about Eco 1750 kV motors? Eco isn't a brand. I think you might be talking about the Emax Eco. I've heard good things about the latest one. I think they're the V3, and they're very good looking as well. And I've heard good things about their durability. That's pretty much, in my opinion, the one thing that matters, durability, because they mostly all fly the same to me. It's more about the pilot than the motor. iFlight Eco, no, I think it's Emax Eco. iFlight is Xing. Oh, Xing Eco also exists, maybe, yeah. Those are like not very, yeah. Emax Eco, I heard good things, but not from many sources. I have a friend who has the 7-inch ones, the 28 something, and they're pretty good. They seem to have lasted for quite a while and through many crashes. So yeah, not too bad. Although I have to say, depending on when you are, there's still always a running sale on the T-Motor F7. So those actually the F60. I mean, those motors here. I'm going to show you. So those motors here. And I'm not affiliated with T-Motor or in any way. That's if you've seen my videos, you see them in my Bando budget build. Those you can get them for about, I think, without any code, without any discount code, you get them for like $14 each. In blue, in 1650 specifically. So that's the F60 V4 on the T-Hobby website. And if you use code Mika10, or if you want the code, there's a 10% code I can give you. Just hit me up on Discord, and I'll find it for you. So you get them for like 10% less. So it's really, it's a premium motor that's quite durable, flyable in bandos. Many pilots I know fly them in bandos. They fly super well, and they're really super cheap. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. It's still a good deal. They still have the blue 1750 kV motor one that's cheap. And you won't necessarily receive a blue one. You'll receive whatever they have, but you have to buy the blue. Your setup is a flashy Volador, F4 stack. Yeah, Mexico. Oh, if you have them, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that sounds like a very, very sensible starter build. If you like, I always think about stuff through the lens of bandos, because that's why I fly. So I always want like a more durable frame and durable motors and kind of foolproof stuff. But there's no issue with like the Volador frame. I wouldn't fly it in bandos. It's gonna probably break fairly quickly. I know it will. But for general flying, like outdoors, tree stuff, it's going to be super durable, and yeah, it's a decent frame. The Dead Cat one is a bit prone to vibration if you have imperfect props, but the X one seems to be more tolerant to this, so should be good. All right, so let's go to the microscope so we can see the model of the FETs. So we can see if we have a donor. So the one we're interested in, I mean, they're all the same FETs, but this is the one we want. I mean, that might be the one on the other side, actually, but... So, let's see if we can get the reference. So I'm still very new to recognizing component models. So I'm not sure what this symbol is. If we have an expert in chat, let me know. But I'll see if I can find a board with that symbol. I know I'm starting to know some brands for FETs, but you're very welcome, extra spicy. But I'm gonna dig in the donut box, see if I can find that rush board actually. I still have it somewhere. It might have the same FETs. That's the box of donuts. Dead stuff. Very, very dead stuff. Yes. Let's see if it has the same FETs. Looks like the same board. So the FET should be good. There's no reason. It's clearly rusted away. Actually, yeah. So let's have a look in the microscope. So it's not the same FETs. It's the same board though. So it's likely to be able to take the same FETs. EMB, yeah, it's the same board, so it should be cross-compatible, the FETs. And yeah, so I should be able to grab FETs from here. I mean, we'll know when I do it. Let's see if I can investigate, see if I can measure anything wrong with this FET or the other one. We'll do a bit of analysis quickly. Thank you, Magsheki. So what's HIG? I guess it's the brand. So yeah. Oh, it's used in ASIC mining. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be cross-compatible. If you want to double check, you can see the new ones. The ones on the other board are the TPH R8504PL, and I'm guessing they're pin compatible and similarly spec'd. I mean, if they're pin compatible, it's easy to see. We'll see it on the back anyway. But yeah. So yeah, do some testing. So we're gonna go into diode mode, and we're gonna test a reverse body diode and the gate to source diode. I think that's what we want to. I still can't remember in what direction you're supposed to test it, but we'll see what we get a sensible value. So first of all, so the way those work, oh, they're dirty as fuck. Let's see if we can clean it up. That took on some water, so let's brush it with some IPA. It's a bit. There we go. A bit better. Right. So the way those work is they have 3 pins, like 3 logical pins, And one of them is going to be all 4. The other pin is going to be 3 of them, and the last one is going to be the gate, which is possibly this one. So I have a beepy mode. So this should beep, for example. Does this beep with this? Let's see if I can be. Yeah, so that's the gate here. And yeah, this one's the gate. So this one must be the source and this one must be the drain. So they are all one pad. So we want to check the reverse body diode, which is going to be from red probe here. We're getting a sensible value of 0.45. And then I think it's either this, no, the other way around. Okay, that's not this, or this way around. Using the plus on the source. And point. I don't think that's normal. Let's check on another one. Yeah, so that's supposed to be 0.62. And I'm getting 0.62. Wait, maybe I had it must have had it touching. Okay, it is 0.62. This way around. Yeah. Okay, so no data from this one. Let's check the other one on the other side. So I need to pop this heatsink, the useless heatsink. Always remove them so they don't short stuff when they inevitably get removed. So we're looking at FET number 3 here, which is going to be this boy. And we're going to have the gate here and drain here. So that should, no, that's, sorry, that's the reverse body diode. It's going to be this to this. Oh, no, the other way around. I never remember when I don't do it from the motor pads on the, yeah, so good number. And this. Yeah, so that's not supposed to be shorted, right? I'm getting shorted here. Or maybe the gate is this one? Wait, which one's the gate? Let's see. So yeah, so that might not be. We can actually, I never remember which one's the gate, but I can check on the other side. So the gate was here opposite the top indicator. So bottom left opposite the indicator. And here the indicator is on the top. So that's the gate. So we want to check this to this. Or the other way around. Yeah, we're getting the same 0.6. So yeah, nothing obvious reading it. So we'll just swap them. ChatGPT says probably yes, you can swap the two. Yeah, I'm guessing it's the same board, so there's no reason you can't. There's a slightly different in odd resistance, but shouldn't change anything. Extra spicy, have a good one. See if you see this message in VOD. Yeah, ping 1 is gate. Yeah. So yeah, that's let's remove them and put the other ones back. So we'll start by getting those on the donor board, and we'll check they're not shorted at least. So this one I have taken off before. Let's get one I haven't taken off before and double check they're not shorted. Okay, they're not shorted. I'm going to collect those 3 and we'll have a small stock of them. Go an extra one, never hurts. So let's remove that stupid adhesive because then makes it awful to get them. If they attach together, you just try to pull one and it just pulls wrong. Yeah. There you go. Right. The goo probably gonna remove easier when it's been heated up anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. All right, let's remove those three. We'll add some flux, even though it's not really required. It's gonna deoxidize those pads a bit. Yep. And we'll go for full blast. That's going to be 480 degrees. Let's go a bit down, like 430 is probably going to be fine. 100% airflow. Let's go for... sorry, you're going to have a worse phone quality, mic quality from me because I enable the I never find the word, the thing that sucks the smoke. I have a problem with that word, I never remember. Hey, Balu. I don't know how Grimka is doing. How are you doing, Grimka? Are you still around? Are you dying?
Yes, I'm fine. Still working on the PCB.
Good, good. Gonna have... We've been doing custom FPV frames for a while in my flight group. A bunch of us have designed our frames and experimented with that. And now we're starting on custom PCBs, like making small things and probably at some point making a flight controller. Possibly ESC, who knows?
Would be nice. So much to learn.
Yep. So yeah, I'm planning at some point I'm gonna make an ESC and document it in a video. Hopefully it's gonna be of interest to people. Should be. I remember the first time I removed FET from this board, it took me forever to remove them because I didn't heat enough. There you go. Let's grab a fourth one for good luck. Yeah. Good luck. Another one for good luck. Right, this board can go and get itself out of there, back to the donor box. So hopefully you're getting a bit of context from the new view I added on the right that gives you the microscope area. Yes, that's called the fume extractors for me. And next time I will also forget again. But thank you very much for reminding me. But yeah, Bad Cactus, I do plan on doing that. It probably won't be a series, probably will just be a single video, probably a long one. But I have my first partnerships are coming in, and I have been in touch with the PCB Way, who are going to sponsor the making of the PCB, so that's going to be fun. All right. Let's go and remove. I'm going to just swap the two ones, the top and bottom ones, just might as well. So I'll just remove this one. And I'll just remove this one, put the new one on, and then do the same thing on the other side. Let's go same heat to remove it. I'll change the settings a bit when I add it, because otherwise it's going to blow it off. Blow it to the moon. Let's put some flux on, might as well. Clean those pads. And there we go. Let's heat up the board a bit. You can see the board, the leaded solder ball up, melt on the side. There you go. The FET solder is melting. There you go. So that's put the dead one to the side. Well, it might not be dead, but I'll consider it like dead. Put it in the graveyard. And I don't think I want to. I'm not going to add any leaded solder. Just going to reuse the unleaded that's on board. Should be good enough if I do it cleanly. So that's the. So you can see under the FET it has a pad. So that's how I know what way to put it on. I do it with the tweezers so as to not burn myself. Don't have the same size. It's funny. Well, hopefully it works. So yeah, I'm gonna come in with the same temp, but like 60% airflow, so I don't blow the chip away. So I am going to most likely hold it. I don't need to hold it. You'll see it melt first. The gate is gonna melt probably. Oh no, it's melting. It's not melting under the big pad though. That's melting. That's nice. That's gonna melt first, and the left side is gonna melt second. Make sure that's well and melted. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's go on the other side and try not to burn myself cooking it. And then we'll test it and clean it up. So should be. So let me not make a mistake. And so that's this one on top. So that's going to be this guy. It's 1, 2, 3. Push the board down, up or down doesn't matter. So I get good access to it. And yes, the board is incredibly hot. That's why I'm doing my best to not touch it. I don't want to squeeze on the FETs overall, because if I squeeze on the FETs with the jaws, it might move the FETs. So I'll try to grip it in some way. There you go. That's gripped in a way that doesn't put pressure on the FETs. I've had a case where I move FETs with the side of the jaws. I had them the bottom side pushing on FETs, and when I hit it up the other side to remove a component, it moved the whole row of FETs, and it wasn't great. So let's put on some flux. And pull this one. But the board should be quite hot still. I'm still on 60% airflow, but since the board is hot, it should be fairly quick. There we go. And then we'll put on some more flux and place it back. Oh, place it back. Place another one back. Let's go. Let's try to not blow it off, even though I do have spares. It's starting to melt. It's getting surface tension now. Yeah. Good enough. All right. Maybe it's repaired. Maybe it will work. Hey, Cheesekeeper, thank you for coming to the stream, however long you stay. You can always catch the replays. They're all on YouTube. Some episodes are more interesting than others, but as always, I try to say interesting things and teach you guys what I know, so feel free to do that if you want. And otherwise, I usually stream on Tuesdays in English, and I stream on Thursday in French. But tomorrow I'm away, so I had to move it to today. But it's going to be the same thing, same time, and yeah. Some flux is clear, some flux is brown, and what makes a good flux? Watch Nanofix's video on comparing flux. It's nice to see a bit like how they behave, how they burn. This one is the Nanoflux from Mechanic. It's really nice. It's quite runny, but it doesn't smoke at all. It really doesn't smoke, and it doesn't really brown very easily, so it's really nice. I really like it. I still use the other flux when I want something a bit more tacky, but yeah, it's really nice. Let's do some cleaning while it's cooling down. For cooling, my favorite currently is those nano sponges from Maant. Yeah, it's Maant, one of the Chinese repair brands. And there's those cubes, you can soak a bunch of IPA into them, and they suck up the flux, so it comes onto the sponge. It's really nice. I recommend them very heartedly. Yeah, everything seems connected correctly, so that's nice. Flip it up, and clean the other side. Still quite hot. Hot. It's dirty AF this side. It has all the crusty old flux from whoever soldered their motor wires to it. So, when the board is hot, it's so much easier to clean crusty flux. I'm not gonna go crazy mad over it. That soaked up all the juice. Alright, let's see if I can cool it down with my mouth. And no, I'm not gonna lick it. I'm gonna blow on it. Hey, son. But yeah, generally, what makes there's no one flux for every job. There are fluxes that are more runny and can go into like under chips and stuff like that. Fluxes that stick more to the board when you heat it up, usually called tacky flux. There are fluxes that are like, I guess there are some that are generally better than others, but there's no one solution. No single solution. And also, I need to remember to clean my bloody tweezers because then they stick to the components. It's awful. Bunch of burn flux on them. All right. Are you cool now? Cool enough? Cool enough to be handled and to be soldered? Yeah. So I'm gonna solder. I don't care about this. I'm gonna solder 2 motors. I don't need to solder all 4. I should only need to solder 1 to see if it spins, but I'll do 4. So here we kind of are somewhat in the dark as to whether, if it doesn't spin correctly, I mean, we don't have a clean answer of why, because we did use different FETs to the ones that are on the board. So it might not work for that reason. I don't expect it would. It could be not working because I soldered them badly. That's also possible. Because I did take a shortcut by not replacing the solder with leaded, but it did look well soldered to me. So And yes, those are awful solder joints. I agree. All right. Yeah, I never remember which one's positive, which one's negative. So we're also going to have to test them a few times because we did get a situation where there was no issue. So I might also point the thermal cam if I get the clickety clicks. My flight controller, did I lose it this time? No, it's here. Sticky. Okay. So Makshaki, you're saying I have an AAO, the SpeeDB F45 Purple 1. The boot pin is broken and only goes into DFU. I think you just need to bridge the pads. I think it's the switch is normally closed. So what you do is test. Yeah, it's going to have to be that. If it's going to DFU mode when the boot button is ripped out, you need to bridge it. So with a bit of wire or blob of solder. It has to be that because otherwise it wouldn't go into boot mode. So it must be a normally closed button. All right. I'll leave you with that view so you can see whether the motor spins a bit easier. I have a bunch of things on my table that have no reason to stay here, making it hard to process. Right. There we go. Let's power it up. Let's see if it spins right. Seems to be pretty smooth when I started it here. Are we getting the right RPM number? Okay, let's try again, because it did. Yeah. It sounds very good as well. Before it sounded super crunchy when it... Yeah, I think it's fixed. Let's double check with the thermal cam. We never get enough of the thermal cam. So, does the cover come off with heat? You mean the heatsink cover on the ESC? It's supposed to not come off with heat. It's thermal glue, but it can, I don't know if it's heat or crash or whatever, it can come off and short the stuff on the flight controller. I don't know if it has happened on Rush ESCs. It has absolutely happened in Mamba FCs and ESC. The ESC has a big shield, and it comes off super easy and burns stacks. I've seen that happen many times before. So yeah, not great. Let's spin those motors. No heat, no special heat in the motor. Yeah. It's funny to have a smaller fat spot. Yeah, it seems fixed. I think we're good. I'm gonna have to with 15 minutes before the end of the stream, we're gonna hover this thing in the living room, in the behind me. So let's put the flight controller on and put the pigtail on and put a receiver on, and we'll fly it. That's the best thing to do if I'm on the stream. See you, son. See you on Thursday. But yeah, the way, if you had McShaky, if you noticed how easily it came off with a bit of frying, the SpeeDB ones actually require a decent amount of force and can make you a bit scared of ripping out fat, which has never happened to me. But these ones just came off super easy. So that's yeah. there's no reason to ever keep it. I mean, I guess it does give you the pin out, but otherwise. So let's do this. I'll solder the other 4 motors. Let me go pigtail. Pigtail time. Oh, I still have this plugged in. Let's try not to fry it. Pigtail time. Up. Plus is there's so much flux, dirty flux that I can't. Yeah, plus is positive is here. I can't see it. Come on. Do the melting. Do the melting. Let's do the melting faster. And there's a bunch of copper in this ESC. It's not all too bad. There we go. Good enough for me. I wonder, when I have a bunch of ESCs that, when ESCs desync, I wonder how often it's just a FET that needs changing. Like it's just have a dead FET. And interestingly, the ESC I used for my test bench, this one here, that's a cheaper one. It was desyncing from the box, so it's brand new but had desyncs. And because it was like a 35 euro stack, I never really cared about looking into it. But maybe at some point I should probably see if I can fix it. I mean, I've flown those cheapo stack for a long time before they started becoming shit, these ones. From like after 6 months, we started receiving lemons. And then we stopped buying them. They were the Dake FPV ones. And you could find them for as low as 35 euros a stack on AliExpress. And yeah, I bando bashed some of them for a long time. So it's not as awful as you would expect from the price. Hello, fun per volt FPV. I see what you did there. That's a very suitable name for this for this channel, for this stream. So good. All right. So now I need to solder my receiver somewhere here. Let's go and see where we get what we got. Oh, there's a ripped pad here. Gonna go for TX1, RX1, 5 volt and ground. Over here. Let's do this. Can I do it with a massive soldering iron tip? That's a good question. Let's see. Let's start GNT. Do we have long enough wires? That's also a good question. I think we do. Yes. Oh, that's dodgy. That's dodgy AF. There we go. Less dodgy. So RX1 is going to be this guy. And So yeah, I usually try to not put stuff in the repair box until it's been hover tested. That way I can kind of spot any transient issues possibly. But yeah, I try to not do it on stream all the time because it takes some time and it's not super interesting. So that's TX1 RX1. It's not like the most interesting part of the repairs, but something that I have to do if I want some amount of confidence in what I'm doing. Let's grab a couple of gummies if I can find them. I think I should have some. Yeah, I have a bunch here, so I don't burn stuff. Basically, if I'm going to fly it, I want the flight controller to be at least somewhat stable. Otherwise, it's gonna fly away in my living room, which is not ideal. There we go. That's good enough. Let's quickly configure it. So for those who haven't been here, it's actually quite fast because I made myself a Betaflight preset. So we just need to connect, presets, and go here and press OK. And that sets up all my rates and a bunch of other things like that. Stuff like specific to my builds. Also sets up props out. Now we want to set up the gyro, which seems to be good. Okay, ports we have UART1 on RX, good. Then we need to I need to go get my radio. I'll be right back. It's downstairs. I mean, it's all wireless, so I can still tell you stories, but that's not much to tell about my radio.
Welcome to HTX.
All right. I don't think the RX is lighting up from USB. So. You use a soldering gun for big stuff, yeah. I have a pretty good, that large tip is right. It's pretty good for the big stuff, thankfully. What do I want to do? Let's power it up. Let's see if the RC works well. Why is the receiver is going into Wi-Fi mode? Oh, it must have been powered from USB. I just didn't check well enough, so we don't have to power it up now.
Telemetry
yeah,
connected.
the telemetry, and hopefully receiver stuff moves. Yes. Now we just need to sort out the motors. So motor tab. I always do this, check that it's props out, power it on, and do the two wizards. You never know where the board's been, so yeah, there it was backwards. All good. And now we do motor direction. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Nothing to change. Now we slap the piggy boy on top of it, and we fly it in the... Oh, you need some props as well. So let's put on some props, and then the piggy boy. For those who haven't seen the PV boy, you're in for a treat. And you're probably very confused as well. There we go, there we go. There we go. Prop nuts. Prop nuts are here. Now, with my new camera setup, I don't have an easy way to show you the quad. I'll move the main camera and see if I can show you. Because, I mean, it's part of the fun to see if you catch my quad flying away in my house and making a hole in the ceiling, you know? It's always fun. We don't want to miss that. Let's turn around. Yep. It's not too late to go pusher. Oh, I'm not sure you're talking to me because. Wait, what's the direction? There we go. But yeah, going pusher here means I can't use the piglet. The piglet is not going this way. See you later, Mac Shaky. Thank you very much for coming. Have a good one. There we go. Time for the piggy. Where's my piggy? So yeah, because I don't want to have to put on a top plate and spend more time in the thing, I make the piglet. This is the piglet, and it just goes over the standoff. And it's an old shitty LiPo that I don't really care about. So if something were to happen to it, I mean, it shouldn't catch on fire. All right, let me see if I can give you a view. There we go. That's where it's going to happen. Let's do it. All right. Just a simple hover. Let's go. Looks like it works. Smooth arming and everything working. So I think we're good. We fixed it. That was a very straightforward repair. We diagnosed, saw the FET. Thermal cam helps spot which FET to remove and swap. And yeah, it's all working. So that's going in the repair box, and we have a full rush stack. Let me do that, put that back. So yeah, we fixed it. We have a nice rush stack ready to go in the box. And oh, why am I putting this? That's the whole point of the piggy, is that I don't have to pull the straps. I can just pull on the LiPo and remove it. Yeah. So I think that's going to be it for today, right on time. We have a few minutes left.
ESC?
Yeah. Yep. Well, it's not yours anymore.
Yeah, I know, but I think we might need to try more than just an over to see if it really works.
Yeah, but there was a very obvious, there was a problem with it, and I fixed the problem specifically.
Okay.
So I'm quite, like, it was a very obvious problem. So swapped FETs, and it's now working. So yeah, there's no reason. That explains your desyncs. You were having desyncs, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's completely explained. Like one of the motors was having a bunch of problems.
Yep.
So yeah, I see that. Was it BL32 or Blue Jay? That was BL32. Yeah, I think you can flash it to, there's targets for IM32 if you want it, but yeah, that's BL32, I believe. Well, I know it's BL32. So yeah, that was pretty successful today. The flight controller didn't take much fixing because it was fine, but we have the full stack. So I think I'm gonna leave there. I'm gonna desolder this, put it in the box. You don't have to watch this. That's not very interesting. But a reminder of the 32.9 bug, beware. Oh, I am very well aware. I'm not gonna be flying this. That's gonna go in the box and someone's gonna fly it maybe. And they can put AM32 on it if they want. I had one quad with 32.9 and kept having the bug every like 3 or 4 LiPo, and I eventually removed it, and that's actually I have it here. So this is this AIO. I was running this AIO in a Bando 5-inch, and it held up really, really well. That's a super expensive one. That's one that was tested by what's his name, Evan Turner, 533, and he tested it to death on a 5-inch race now. So that made me want to try to bando it, and I did, and it's still working, but I kept having the bug, so I had to ditch it. And eventually, I was looking for a target for AM32 for it forever. I asked 4 times on the Discord, never got an answer. Eventually kind of randomly tried things, and I managed to convert it to AM32. So it's now an AM32, it doesn't have the bug, so I'll need to put it on a quad at some point. So yeah, that's the solution when you're having the bug. Just put AM32 on it. So yeah, thanks. Let's do the outro part. Thank you everyone for coming to the stream. It's lovely as usual to have all of you there chatting and asking questions. If you're still there, still around watching the end, would you mind putting a like on the video, clicking the like button? That's super helpful to help me like get more people to see the stream and everything. I'll be super appreciative if you would. And if you want to leave a comment as well, if you have ideas of stuff I could improve, stuff you liked, stuff you learned, stuff you hated, feel free to comment as well. That's also great for the YouTube things. So yeah, it's very good to have also a bunch of regulars always there, always give me support on them, giving me many things to repair for months. So it's all gonna be good. All right, have a good one, everyone. See you later. See you on Thursday if you want some French, or next week on Tuesday. Bye.